I have no doubt that we are going to witness historical events unfold right here in America. I also believe 100% that we have entered biblical times, and we all have some very serious decisions to make. You should be asking yourself today, do you have enough food? Do you have enough ammo? Do you have enough gold? Do you have enough silver? Do you have enough preparation to deal with what's coming? You know, there's people that continue to write in that love to troll, these total douchebags. And it's amazing how many of these people want to see America fail. It's amazing how many of these D-bags want to see you fail, want to see God fail. And they're very triggered by these videos. They're very triggered by your comments. And it triggers them so much that they lash out. They like to be very negative. But it makes me want to make even more videos because I know that it's triggering these evil, demonic people who want to deceive everybody, who want to see you and I fail, who want to see America fail. And the more I trigger them, the more satisfied I am because I know that I've picked the right side. I want to see America succeed. I want to see it prosper. I want to see every one of you prosper and succeed and have an incredible future. I don't want to see anybody fail. I don't want to see anybody fail during this collapse and lose everything that they have. I don't want to see people become desperate, starving, physically fearing for their lives. I don't want to see that happen to anybody, not even the trolls, not even these douchebags that write in. I pray for these people. In fact, I feel sorry for these people that instead of preparing, instead of waking up, they actually have the time in the day to write negative comments. I feel sorry for people like that. If you have nothing productive to do in your day other than write negative comments about one of my videos, I feel really sorry for you. You have a really bad life. Instead of preparing for yourself, for your family, instead of educating yourself and waking up, the only thing you can do is lash out and write negative comments or attack other people writing comments. I feel sorry for you. I pray for you. And I don't want to see you fail during this collapse, even though you're in denial, even though you don't believe it. You don't want to believe it, but I believe down deep inside, you fear what's coming, and that's why you lash out. You need to pick the right side. All of us need to be waking up and picking the right side. There's a line in the sand right now, and you better figure out what side you're on. A lot of things are going to be happening in America. And again, we better think about how prepared we are to deal with this. Do we have enough food, ammo, security, gold, silver, gear, clothing, what have you? While a very few people want to take their valuable time and write negative comments, and that's your right. Go ahead. I believe in free speech and the First Amendment. You can do that. But today, for most of you, take your precious time, take every day, every minute that you have, and really start thinking about getting prepared. Do not waste your time on writing negative comments about people, tearing people down, being destructive, just being negative. That to me is the devil. That's playing on the devil's side. What we need to be doing is coming together as a community, pulling one another up, individually preparing, waking other people up the best that we can, even though I know most people will not wake up. But we need to, right now, take time and start getting very productive, knowing where we stand, on what side, what team we're on. And instead of tearing people down, I've noticed that even people in our community tear one another down. We got to stop that. We need to come together. This country needs every one of us. We cannot be divided as a group or a community. We need to be bringing people up and helping one another here in America. You know, if you want to pretend that the banking system is safe, that the economy is good, and that we are not going to see violence erupting into 2020 during this next election or during the possible impeachment, I believe you are sleepwalking towards the crisis. And I'm making a video today just to reassure everybody, to reinforce with all of you that we cannot be getting complacent. We are going to see surges in the stock market. It's been completely propped up to the highest degree. We are witnessing the biggest bubbles in the history of the planet. And we're witnessing the biggest illusion that is going to take so many people by surprise. Yet we're going to watch on the television this week, all the business analysts, all the business shows. We're going to see more records being broken in these markets. And I'm here to tell you, do not be fooled. This is all artificial. Take every moment that you have to be mentally, physically, spiritually, and financially preparing. This is what we're witnessing right now. Is we're seeing massive insider selling like we've never seen before. The Fed continues to increase the size of both the overnight and the term repo operation. I mean, this is telling you, every one of you, that something is very wrong. You need to be preparing. We are literally in a crisis right now in 2019, worse than the crisis of 2008 that brought everything down. Things are worse now, but they are holding it up with all of this quantitative easing, these billions of dollars of injections, all this media propaganda. It's all being held up, and it can break loose at any moment. Look, we have government debt at all-time highs, household debt at all-time highs, personal debt at all-time highs, corporate debt all-time highs. If you are not preparing, if you are being very naive, if you think everything is safe and sound right now, this bubble is going to burst. Not only one bubble, we are going to see multiple bubbles burst, unlike America has ever seen before, unlike the entire planet has ever seen before. People who think they are millionaires right now because a piece of paper tells them that, they are going to be woken up to a nightmare. They are going to be obliterated, wiped out. We are going to see, I believe, massive surges in the homeless population. People who live in nice houses, had nice jobs, thought that their pensions were going to be there for them, thought that their 401ks, their money markets, thought that their fiat paper was going to save them, are going to be awoken to the worst nightmare possible. And many of these people will become homeless. Many of these people will have nothing to fall back on. And this is why you better be holding something physical, and you better be preparing with every day God is giving you to prepare. Right now, God is waking people up. I truly believe that. The wheat and the chaff are being separated. You need to pick which one you are. So speaking about wheat and chaff, there was an interesting article on Zero Hedge today. The next shoe in the farm crisis drops. Bankruptcies soar. The American Farm Bureau warned on Wednesday that farm bankruptcies are entering a parabolic move. With record high debt, collapsing farm income, and depressed commodity prices, U.S. farmers are dropping like flies. This is yet another negative that is going to be affecting the U.S. economy. It's going to be affecting every one of you at the grocery store because food prices are going to continue to rise, if not soar, as we're witnessing food shortages now taking place because of what is happening and what has happened with the terrible weather in the Midwest, the flooding, and now the blizzards. The American Farm Bureau said that farm bankruptcies for the 12 months ending in September totaled an astonishing 580 filings. That is up 24%. The Midwest made up most of those with 40%. And that's because of the trade war and the terrible weather that they had in the spring and have just recently had in the last couple weeks with the snowstorms. There was an article today that I read on MarketWatch.com, how the slump in manufacturing created overblown fears of a recession. This is just, you were just overblowing it, nothing to worry about. Reports of the demise of U.S. manufacturing have been exaggerated. what's interesting is this reporter says that everything's okay because employment is up. So don't worry about the manufacturing numbers since employment's up. We see the service sector down. We see the manufacturing numbers down, yet employment is up. What a contradiction. Really makes you think about how fraudulent these numbers may be. Manufacturing accounts for only 10% or about 10% of the economic activity here in America. We basically don't even have manufacturing left. Manufacturing is in such a recession that it's almost completely been annihilated. So in my opinion, manufacturing is in a full-blown depression now. It's so bad that it literally doesn't even exist here in America. In July, the Federal Reserve reported that U.S. manufacturing was in a technical recession. Since then, manufacturing continues to contract month over month over month. Yet the media is telling you it's overblown, it's exaggerated, when it's so bad that literally manufacturing in America today doesn't even exist. We are witnessing the global economy becoming paralyzed. We are witnessing a slowdown across the globe. And we're watching that slowdown occur right here in the United States of America, a massive slowdown. We're watching conventional monetary policy, which is being dished out by the global banks or the central banks, becoming less and less effective. Quantitative easing is resembling an antibiotic that has stopped working because the bacteria has adapted to it. It has become resilient to the antibiotic. And so all this money printing, all this quantitative easing, all this manipulation is going to continue to become less and less effective. I'm going to give you a little analogy of what the US economy looks like, and I'm going to compare it to, let's just say, a fitness model or a bodybuilder. You've all seen those muscle fitness magazines, you've seen the bodybuilder magazines, you've seen all these health magazines, and these people, you know, they look like perfection, right? Because they use the perfect lighting, the perfect cameras, the filters, airbrushing, and many of them use drugs to acquire this look. And they look powerful and strong, vibrant, and the epitome of health and having a perfect sculptured body. But again, it's all fake with lighting and airbrushing and filtered lenses and drugs. And this economy is just like one of those fitness models, one of those bodybuilders who's cheated. That's not really them, okay? It's all an illusion. And once you take the drugs away, when you see some of these people who are in the fitness industry and, you know, they're 240 pounds of muscle and they come off the drugs, a year later, they go from 240 or 250 pounds, they're 160 pounds. They don't even look like the same person. And it's like, what happened? And so it all looks good on the outside because it's all being injected with the help of props. It's being injected with the help of drugs, steroids, performance enhancing, drugs, PEDs. And so people just go, man, that person looks great. He or she looks great. Oh man, that's perfection right there. But what you didn't see is how they got there. Just like most people don't understand how we've gotten to this point in these markets. It's all been manipulated. It's all been done by cheating. It's all been done by injecting drugs. These markets have been injected with quantitative easing. They've been injected with manipulation and low interest rates, just like these bodybuilders who have been injecting their bodies with thousands of dollars of drugs every month, multiple, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 different drugs to get to that level. And so people don't realize what is really happening behind the scenes and how fake all this is. Now, I'm not here to say that every person in a muscle and fitness magazine or any type of fitness magazine or bodybuilding takes drugs, but a majority to get to that level do. And for these markets to get to the level that they're at right now, they've been injected with multiple drugs, multiple manipulation, and have been completely rigged. And so again, just like the fake bodybuilder, we have the fake markets. CNBC, a year out from 2020 election, nearly half of Americans want this president impeached and removed. New NBC Wall Street Journal poll says. Please comment down below. What do you think? What do you want to happen? What do you think will happen? Will we see an impeachment? Will this president step down? I don't think neither will happen, but I would love to know your opinion. Please let me know. Why I bring this article up is because no matter what happens, this is very dangerous. If they attempt a real physical impeachment, we could see very, very big trouble here on the streets of America. I believe this does nothing but divide this country even more, and they are really, really poking a bear here with trying to push this impeachment. I think this is very dangerous for every one of us. I certainly never want to see any sort of civil disobedience, and I have to be careful with the words I use here. You know what I'm talking about when I'm talking about civil. I'm going to use the word civil disobedience. Many people could be very hurt, and the country could be damaged for many years. And I hope that this can 100% be avoided. But we do have to think about reality, that it's a possibility. The potential has never been this strong. And so we really have to take precautions. Remember, things could get very crazy instantly. We're one event away right now, socially, politically, and economically, from things really getting crazy here in America. Remember, 72 hours and anarchy begins. Store shelves will be wiped out literally probably within 24 hours. And remember, stores are only stocked for about 48 to 72 hours. After that, they are wiped out. And if things get too dangerous, trucks do not ship to stores. They do not get on the road with food and water because they are in fear. There's too much violence going on. So trucks do not ship, and things can get very desperate very quickly. Let me repeat. Corporate debt, household debt, government debt, private debt are all maxed out. So we are heading into a time now where we have never been so politically divided, socially divided, where we have had so much manipulation in the markets, where there is so much debt. Question is now, what happens if credit freezes up? What happens if there's an impeachment taking place? What happens if there is a economic collapse? What if the stock market fails? We've got massive trouble on our hands, and bubbles begin popping, credit freezes up, and now without credit, trucks don't ship, people can't buy things, businesses can't buy things. We have massive big trouble here in America. We have never been in a place like this ever before in the history of America, and remember that. And so if you're an individual that believes you shouldn't be preparing, God bless you. But I live in the real world, as most of you do, and knowing historically where we're at right now, there is no more important time to be preparing than right now. I want to close on a couple notes. The real economy that we live in right now is basically fake. It is not generating enough cash flow to service the debt. So in return, the central banks are creating more liquidity to inject into the systems, which means that they're creating more debt, which in return means it's creating even bigger problems. This problem continues to get massively worse, and it is going to get massively worse. There is no going back at this point. We are in very uncharted waters here, very deep, and it could get very dangerous here in America in every which way. The best thing you can do right now is to make sure that you are topping off all your preps, that you continue to prepare, make sure you're walking close to God. And whatever you don't want to lose, make sure you're putting it in gold and silver. There are going to be so many people that wake up one morning and look on their computer or on a piece of paper, and they're going to realize that they're wiped out. If you don't want to lose everything you have, you better be acquiring gold and silver right now. Paper is not going to get you through what we're about to head into. What will are the two most undervalued precious metals on planet Earth, and that's gold and silver, and they are on record-breaking sales right now. I will be acquiring junk silver this week. I'm looking at taking some of my fiat currency, some of my paycheck, and buying more silver. But I think junk silver is great because you can buy dimes and quarters. Those are going to be great to barter with. Remember, anything 1964 or before is 90% silver, and the spot price is extremely low. So I think that if you don't have junk silver right now, it's a smart time to be acquiring as much junk silver as you can. And again, if you're buying 1 ounce bars, 10 ounce bars, if you're buying coins, rounds, whatever, at the end of the day, just make sure you have silver. If you can afford, make sure you have some gold too. I'm going to leave it right there. God bless every one of you. Make sure that you are praying for this country. Make sure that you're actually praying for the trolls that will probably attack me for this video, because they're scared. They know something's coming, and they're unprepared, and they don't want you to be prepared either. They want to see you fail. They want you to be miserable while they're miserable in the streets of America when chaos is erupting, when violence and pandemonium is all over the place, when people are starving, when people don't have any money, when people are losing everything. They want you to be a victim also. Don't be like one of these people. Pray for these people. I don't want them to fail either. So to the trolls out there, I'm praying for you. If you have enough time in your day to write me 3, 4, 5, or 10 negative messages, God bless you. I mean, you have a terrible life. I would take that energy and that time, and I would do something productive and start preparing. God bless America. God bless every one of you. Talk to you very soon.